Hello, happy Monday. Monday. How's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. When you get in here, drop in hashtag I'm here and your name so we can see you, so we can say hello, and give you some real good, helpful tips, hints and tips. I say we. You can see I'm just here by myself. Here he comes. There we go. So let's go. Heidi ho, Tori, Holly, someone else, which I can't see the name, but hello. We are going to talk about today what one thing you can do so you can hit your goals. So some of you may have seen my post this morning. Oh, hey, Emma. Post this morning. Hey, Hannah. About what one thing you're going to commit to this week. So, guys, if any of you have not answered that so far, pop it in the comments. I want to see the one thing that you are going to focus on this week. No excuses. So even if you're stressed, even if you're tired, even if shit hits the fan, like, what is the one thing you're going to commit to? Hey, Teresa. Hey, Jenna. Hello, Grace. So a lot of some people, I'm not saying a lot of people, some people were like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get back on track. I think that's a very difficult thing to say, isn't it? I'm going to get back on track, or I'm going to hit my steps, I'm going to drink my water, I'm going to hit my protein, I'm going to get bed on time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it. And I said, okay, well, which one are you going to work on? And she was like, all of it. I'm just going to get back on track. And I was like, well, in our opinion and our experience, it's better to choose one thing, because what if you're like, right, I'm going to do all this stuff, right? Let's choose four things. I'm going to wake up early, I'm going to hit my steps, I'm going to hit my calories, and I'm going to do my gym workouts, right? There's four things. What if you wake up late because you're really tired, you're sick, your kid woke you up all night? Like, what if that happened? So you wake up late, you're like, well, fuck it. Fuck this. I fucked up. And so you're not going to want to carry on, because you'd be like, well, I've already cocked up now. I may as well not bother with the rest. Or it doesn't matter if I don't hit my calories, because I've already failed at my goal. So it's really important to really narrow this down. So committed to nutrition. We want to see some goals. So what about nutrition? Are you going to marry it? Are you that committed? Or are you going to hit a goal? And going to the gym on Sunday. That's good. Hey, Sue. Calories and carbs. Cool. Make sure I go to bed at appropriate time. Had fabric delivery. I don't know who this is, but I'm going to say it's Holly. And typically I let the fabric at the better of me and go to bed late. Yes, definitely. Sometimes we get sucked into doing things, like Cam and myself are learning a new software for our clients. We've just launched something very exciting for our new clients. And so even though we're get off electronics before, 1 hour before the bed, make sure you're not working 3 hours before bed or 4 hours before bed. We are there 10 minutes till we go sleep. Let's carry on watching how to do this. Let's carry on playing with this. And sometimes it's going to call for that, I think. But generally, having a good, solid bedtime is really, really important. I hated food this week, but I'll hit my macros. Oh, that's not good. Who is that? Who says they're hating food? So that is one of the drawbacks of focusing on lots of different things, or committing to lots of different things, because then you're going to be like, oh, well, if I mess up one, there's no point. Yeah. Hannah hates her food. Oh, God, man. Why? Early bedtime, always been 10 p.m. before, but now slipping to 10:30, yeah, 11:15, not good. Yeah, definitely drag it back. Lindsay, I'm going to wake up 3 times this week. After 3 days of celebrations and indulging, I'm ready to focus again. Perfect. Hitting all my nutrition goals: calorie, protein, and fiber. And yes, I'm it. Going to get my water in, even though I normally do get my water in. I'm going away for a few days, and I can at least make the effort to do that. Teresa. Tori, bedtime, sit past 10. Yeah. Excuse me. Meditation each day has helped me feel so much less stressed. Grace. I guess. There we go. Yeah, there she popped up. So yes, which was it? The water. Water is a very easy one. I say easy, it's simple. It's not always easy. I think there's a definitely difference between easy and simple. So things like putting alarms on your phone, like especially if you can't go to the gym because you're away on holiday, or you can't hit your macros because you're away on holiday, or whatever the reason is. There's always water around. You can, well, unless you're in desert, majority of the time there's water around, so that can be a goal in itself. Something very easy. Meditation also is something that's easily accessible, isn't it? You can just sit and just breathe, sit and focus. Like, that's easy. You don't need anything for that. So some of those are really, really good ones. And then if you've got like a kind of normal week, like you've got work, you've got this, you've got that, things like nutrition then are a little bit more advanced for you to pull in. Going to the gym 4 times this week. Sorted. Bloody wonderful. So multitasking. They're like, I can do this and this at the same time. Maybe I can cook and what can I do at the same time as cooking?
Trying to like work out your macros at the exact same time on your phone, like MyFitnessPal.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. So you're already cooking and you're trying to fit in your macros, but you realize you put in 200 grams of pasta. Oh, pizza. There's also on my mind, chicken or whatever. And then you put in MyFitnessPal, like, oh shit, I'm overeating now. What shall I do? So prioritize the tasks in order, okay? So when you are, think about nutrition. Let's use that as an example. The final part is eating, okay? Eating your macros. The part before that is cooking your macros or food. The time before that is buying those food to cook, to then eat. The part before that is planning the food, so you know what, planning to buy in to cook, cooking to eat, right? So we need to go back as far as possible. If you're eating something new all the time, the planning part is going to be the most important. If you eat the same thing day in, day out like us, you probably know what you need to buy, what you need to make sure you've got, how long it takes to cook, and all that kind of stuff. But planning is the core, is the first thing. It's all, people always say, like, I'm going to just eat better this week. But that's not going to help you, okay? So you need to concentrate on one thing at a time. It could be this week, I'm going to plan my macros, and then I'm going to buy those foods. Maybe it's next week is I'm going to plan the macros with a bit of a tweak, and then I'm going to plan, eat those foods or whatever. So you need to put things in order. I get my steps in while listening to you. I think that's a good one.
That's a good multitask.
Yeah. So lots of people think that you can do lots of different things at the same time. Actually, there's a book. What is that book called? The AMRAP Mentality. Were you expecting that, were you? No, he was not. So I went to a talk once by Jason Khalipa, that's the name, isn't it? Yeah, he's a CrossFit athlete. And he was basically saying, like, he was getting a massage facing the bed thing and checking his phone and like doing messages at the same time. And he wasn't switching off. He wasn't relaxing. And I resonated with this like that because I am misproductive. If I can do 2 things at the same time, I definitely will. But he wasn't switching off then. Okay, so he wasn't de-stressing. He was just trying to get a massage at the same time as working, essentially. So his messages weren't fantastic because he was kind of trying to relax, but also he wasn't relaxing because he was trying to send messages at the same time. And I'm very guilty of doing this kind of thing. Sometimes you can do it like listening. I think listening and walking, you can definitely do. You do want some time just to switch off, though. You don't want to be listening to shit all the time, whether it's your kid, your boss, your partner, us. Like, sometimes you got to switch off. But yeah, some people will try and chase 2 rabbits at the same time and they won't catch any. Generally, the multitasking, maybe you're trying to develop or create a new recipe at the same time as listening to something. Maybe you're listening to us and you're also trying to create a new recipe. The brain cannot do it, okay? You cannot do everything. You can't multitask to 100%. Because you've only got 100% capacity in your brain. And so if 50% is listening to us and 50% is working on your meal plan or whatever, you're not going to get the best out of either. Again, I think walking is okay because you're not like cognitively thinking about it. It's an automatic thing. unless you're like running on a treadmill or something, then you got to be a little bit more careful. But generally walking, you're pretty safe to do at the same time as listening to something, although maybe not walking and messaging. When I'm out with Cam and he whaps out his phone, yes, phone, nothing else, don't whap anything else, whaps his phone, we slow down in walking. I'm like, where is he? And he's back there because he's concentrating on his phone, sending a message or whatever he's doing, rather than walking. So it definitely does. You slow down, don't you? Because you kind of concentrate on this instead of, am I going to trip over that? Am I going to walk on shit? Like, are there some chavs around I need to keep an eye out for? What is the situation that's going on? Anything you're going to say on that, Cam? Multitasking?
No, I think it sort of goes into the next one of like trying to do more strategies has more and quicker results. So it's always like more equals better.
Yeah.
And I think multitasking is like obviously the task in the moment, but like strategies is when maybe you're at the start of the week and you're planning, sort of like Faye said already, when you're trying to plan multiple strategies to get quicker results. So if I do keto and I do HIIT, and I do intermittent fasting.
Oh my god, this sounds like me.
Yes, this was Faye until I met her, and then I whipped her into shape. I was like, stop doing that.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, it's trying to like do as many strategies as you can. Like at the end of the day, they all equal to a calorie deficit, and calorie deficit is what makes you lose weight. But trying to like put like 2 or 3 together is just a very similar version of multitasking, but it's just a bit more of like a bird's eye view of what you're doing. And that's where people go wrong, because I don't know, like, it can easily go wrong, and as soon as one thing goes wrong, you just say, fuck it, I'm not going to do anything. I've ruined the week, I'll start back next Monday. So if you had one strategy, so one method of dieting, as you could call it, if you just did one of them, you'd be able to do them so well that it'd give you results. Like more doesn't get quicker results. You can get a calorie deficit through either one of them, of what we just said, intermittent fasting, keto. What was the third one I said? HIIT. Like they all work to some degree, but if we're trying to combine it all, it just overwhelms people more. And if you've got a very unstressful life, it might be all right. But we're generally all got stress. We generally don't have time. So just trying to do more and more things, trying to add in more and more rules. It's just the rules turn into like obstacles. And if you start falling over those obstacles or hurdles, it just makes it harder. It just makes you want to quit, because it takes a lot more resilience and grit to carry on.
Yeah. And I think people want it hard, don't they? They're like, if it's hard, I'll do it. If I have to cut out this and cut out that, I'll do it. If it's hard, I'm suffering, it must be working, which is not the case. When people come to us, I say to them, like, how many days can you work out a week? And they're like, I could do 5 or 6. I'm like, okay, let's start with 3 then, because you need to do this for the rest of your life. What if you have something going on the weekend? What if you have a holiday? What if you get sick? What if your kid has after school, I don't know, what's it called, parents' evening or something like that? You can't commit to it for the rest of your life. Plus, if you haven't been working out before, there's no point in doing 5 or 6. Start with 2 or 3. So you want to do the minimum amount of work possible to elicit the best results. If you then are doing 3 times a week, or let's start with twice. So you're doing twice a week regularly, and that's a normal routine for you now. You're like, yeah, 2 is easy. I'm always hitting it. Sometimes I go for like an optional 3rd, or go for a walk or wherever. And you're like, do you know what? I really fancy a 3rd. If you've been doing it for 4, 6, 8 weeks, then, okay, now let's add on a 3rd day. And let's do that for 4, 6, 8, probably more like 12 weeks. Then if you want to do another one, let's add that on then. But there's no point in doing everything at the beginning, because you're going to lose focus. You're going to be overwhelmed, because at the same time as this exercise, right, you're calorie counting, or you're making sure you're getting steps in, or you're going to bed on time. You've got all these different things, plus life. Forgot about that. You got to work. You got to, clean the house. You got to do all that boring adult crap. We all lovingly enjoying our life. But you've got to do all that, and then you've got to do all this stuff on top. So there's no point in overwhelming yourself. It'll lead to burnout, and you'll give up, which is why most people give up, actually.
Yeah, Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just, it comes back to the boring thing. People just don't do even what they've started. Probably isn't too far off what they need to be doing anyway, but they just don't do it for long enough.
Yeah. So you need to create sustainable habits. And that is one of the most important things. And habits is a funny one, isn't it? People say, oh, it takes 28 days, or it takes 100 hours, or it takes this. It takes varying amounts of time for different people. The consistency is the main thing, though. So to create a habit, to make something part of our day-to-day life, like people are like, oh, Faye, I wish I had a healthy life or active life like you. Like this isn't like I was born out doing this. And obviously every time we move, when we've had different jobs in the past, like our priorities have had to change, and our habits and our lifestyle and our routines have had to change. So if I've got a 9 to 5 and then I go to like, I don't know, 7 till 7 working or something like that, I now can't go to the gym at 6 o'clock. I can't say, sorry, boss, I'm finishing. I'm going to the gym. I'll be back in an hour to do my last hour or whatever. You need to make sure that you've got discipline. So discipline, after you've moved the routine, of course, discipline is what's going to make a routine a habit. Okay, so people always want motivation and they always wish they had the discipline, but you really need to make things a routine, and you need discipline to make that routine.
So,
okay, nothing.
Consistency
is key. What else? The kind of problem why people try to do loads of things is, like you said, they want quicker results. And for some reason, the weight loss space has told you, like, eat less, move more. Okay? Because it's silly telling you things like that. So that creates an assumption that you need to do more and more and more and more and more, and eat less and less and less and less and less. So that means it's going to be hard, right? So our body is always already like, okay, well, if it's hard, I must be doing something right, which I mentioned earlier. So we really need to dial it back and be like, what can I do first? What's the first thing I can do? Not what do I need to do all over the place. Or look, my favorite influencer, they're doing a morning routine, and then they're going to the gym at 5, and then they're having a protein shake, and then they're doing this, and then they're going to work, and then they're doing that. Like, that fitness influencer might have been doing, like, building this routine for the last 12 years, the last 3 years, the last 1 year, and you're just 1 month in. There's absolutely no point in you trying to copy someone else's routine or copy someone else's lifestyle or exercise program or nutrition plan or meal plan or whatever, because it's not going to work for you, okay? And then it's going to make you feel more like a failure because you can't even do what that influencer is doing. So if you can't do that, you're never going to look like her, and you just give up. And that's the last thing we want, isn't it? Anything else, Cam?
So I guess like the practical things of what people should be doing. So obviously it's picking one thing.
Yeah, one thing so you can hit your goals.
One thing. So then I guess after that it just becomes, what can people do to make one thing easier? So depending on what it is, like if we're looking at it, then we just want to break it down into like mini goals to know we're on. So you want to be able to like progress track. So I think the easiest thing is like people like ticking things off. So even if it's like, for example, I don't know, drink 2 liters of water a day, and you have a tick off every day, and by the end of the week you can see that you've either got 7 ticks, 5 ticks, 4 ticks. Pretty quickly you can tell, have I been consistent most of the week or not? And just having simple like tracking systems of how well are you actually doing. Like they said, I just want to have good nutrition, but what does that mean? And now you've like, I want good nutrition, so that means I'm going to hit X amount of protein and I'm going to calorie count for at least 5 days. So you've already could see straight away visually how many ticks have I got of my protein and my calorie counting. My singular focus is like nutrition broken into 2 mini goals. So it's like one way to like practically do like a singular thing.
Yeah, and I think like when you are creating this task list or this goal list or this like tick list or whatever, it needs to be binary. It needs to be, you've either done it or you haven't. You can't say, I've done good nutrition. You can't be like, well, I kind of did, I kind of didn't. If you ate off your plan, wherever that looks like to you, if you didn't eat it all, or you missed it, or you overate or whatever, no, you did not complete that. So you can't say like good. You could be like, oh, well, it was kind of good. No, Did I hit it or did I not? Okay, this is why your targets need to be like hit X protein, hit X calories, not do good. Okay, because everyone's got their opinion on what good is, and you might be then making excuses about, well, I did good considering I went out for food and da 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 da. No excuses. Did you hit it or did you not? Okay, so we need to be choosing the one thing to focus on. And if you choose one thing and you can commit to it, you'll quite quickly see, did I do it Monday? Yes, no. Did I do it Tuesday? Yes, no. Did I do it Wednesday? Yes, no. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and so on and so forth. That's really going to either say, I'm ready to add something else on. I can commit to myself. I've done it for a week. I've done it for 2 weeks. I'm ready to add something else on. Then you have 2 ticks or 2 X's or whatever it's going to be. Or you say, oh, well, I've only done this 3 out of 7 times this week. There's no point in adding anything else on because I can't even commit to this one thing yet. So you rerun that week until you can do it for 1 to 2 weeks. Then you rerun it. So if we were to give people an order, because with our clients, so I don't know if any of you guys, you probably did see one of my clients that I put on yesterday on my stories. G, I'm not going to name it, she's G. She's doing freaking awesome. We did not say to her, when she come on board, we didn't say, right, hit your protein, hit your carbs, hit your fat, hit your fiber, make sure you get steps and do your exercise, have a bedtime routine, wake up early, drink your water. We didn't do all this because she would have gone, oh, why did I sign up for this? No, thank you, goodbye. And she would have given up. It would be too hard. So instead, the first thing we do with all clients is, what is it, Cam?
Secret.
Okay, let's let them into the secret then. Protein target. I will tell you, okay, because Cam's a stickler for secrets. I will tell you. It is a protein target, okay? So people say, how many calories do I need? I'm like, forget about calories. We don't need it. Protein first, okay? Now, if you're in the Facebook group and you're saying, well, I don't know how many grams of protein I need, we've got you because we've got free training. It's on the top. It's called Unleash Your Inner Badass and tells you exactly how to figure out your protein needs without needing one of these stupid calculators that are fake. Fake news, bad for you, damaging. Don't use MyFitnessPal to figure out your macros. Just use what we give you because it's the best, most accurate way. Okay, so that is the first thing you should focus on. And then after that is your exercise. Well, actually, steps and sleep. So we kind of give 3 areas, don't we, which we've touched on before. We give a lifestyle target, we give a nutrition target, and we give an exercise target. Now, if our client can't do all 3 things, they're very basic things, but if they can't, we just stick with one. Well, okay, let's just hit protein, or let's just hit steps, or let's just do water, or let's just do sleep, wherever it's going to be. And then when you can do that for a week or 2, then we'll add in this, or then we'll add in that. And I think people just automatically want exercise and they want to focus on that instead of the foundation. So this is why we always focus on protein first, to get that. That's going to really solidify everything else, isn't it?
Pretty much.
All right, D. So those who chase 2 rabbits catch none. There you go. There's your quote for the day. I don't know who said it. Don't ask me. Yeah, Faye, 2023. So what one thing will you commit to this week? That's what you need to figure out. And I want you to declare it in the group. Send me a message and declare it if you're not in the group. If you're not in the group, you should be in the group, definitely. But that is why you need to focus on one thing. Does anyone have any questions based on everything we have said so far? Well, I say so far. Based on everything we said, is there anything else you can?
No, I think that's been a good one.
I think we've practically given you practical tips that you can practically implement. Practically. So, choose one thing, commit to it, use your discipline to commit to it, make it a habit. Habit will create a routine, and then from there you can start to add something else. And you go through the same thing, okay? This is why long-term weight loss is not fast, because you're doing all these things, committing to it, creating a habit, adding one more thing, committing to it, creating a habit, adding one more thing, committing to it, creating a habit, rather than be like, I'll do all this or nothing, which is like the worst mindset to have. Second worst, I think the first worst is I'm not going to do anything. I'm too lazy. That's probably the worst. Second worst is all or nothing. So have your singular focus, guys. Commit to it. Go watch that training in the group. And if you need apps or anything else, let us know. Otherwise, have a fantastic week and keep us up to date in the group on how you're getting on with your one thing.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.